Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Rangman Show. We've come after a long hiatus. I was busy with my work, but now that we are back, we've got a very interesting guest who happens to be a very good friend of mine. Hi Kunal.
Hi, Pranay. It's an absolute pleasure to finally be on the Rangman Show. I've been wanting to be here for a while. My life is made now since I'm on Rangman Show now.
Yeah, often I have guests telling me that. Actually, I pre-tell them to tell me that because we want to increase the subscription of this channel. But
Good. Till the time I'm getting paid for doing this, I don't mind.
no, guys, we don't pay any of our guests. We just tell them to organically increase our subscription base. But
Yeah,
Kunal
yeah.
is a very interesting person. He's a chartered accountant by profession, a cricketer by passion, and a follower of Vedanta. And he uses all his energies from the latter two aspects to actually keep his motivation alive in his profession. So we'll be discussing a little about all the three things, all the three aspects of Kunal's life, starting with chartered accountancy. Now, Kunal, chartered accountancy is a boring necessity. I mean, we all need to file our returns, we have audits going, it's too technical, and you've been in this field for the last 10, 12 years. So, what has kept you motivated since you started chartered accountancy?
So Pranay, just a little background how I got into this profession. It's a typical Indian setup where my father and my uncles have been chartered accountants, and so has been my grandfather. So kind of it just became an obvious choice over my younger days, to take it up. It was a set profession, everything was in place, and I just had to, give my exams and do a little bit of practical training and get onto this profession. So a little background about it. Yes, for a layman, it seems like it is a boring profession because ultimately I am responsible for taking money out of your pocket and giving it to the government. So so a lot of people, I think, one including you, try to see what you can do best, not to give it to the government. So for a layman, yes, I agree. It looks like a boring thing. It looks like a compulsion that you have to file your returns, you have to pay your tax. What is so big deal about it? But let me tell you that being on the other side, where we are bridging the gap between a taxpayer and the government, it is quite an interesting profession because what happens is we have to balance both. We have to ensure that that as a taxpayer you are able to utilize the resources in such a way that try to pay as minimal tax as possible, but at the same time we are also the gatekeepers to ensure, it's like a moral responsibility to see that the taxpayers are also not trying to fleece the government with the tax amount. So it's a very interesting bridge where we try to manage both aspects of our profession. We have to keep the taxpayer also happy, and at the same time, as a moral responsibility, we have to ensure that the taxpayer is paying his taxes properly and it is going to the government so that the government can provide us the infrastructure what we need.
So, Kunal, you harped on the aspect of making chartered accountancy interesting. So, how do you keep your interest alive in this profession, which universally is considered too technical?
See, there are a lot of aspects to it. It is very technical, yes, and since you brought up the whole topic of Vedanta and other and cricket as an aspect, I would like to say that two things I want to cover, and this is how we make it interesting. Is that my father, when I was growing up as a budding chartered accountant, and I used to find it quite boring at the at the start of the day, because it became a very mundane kind of a work for us also as chartered accountants, because there is no creativity, no aspect of creativity in our profession. uh, but my father told me one thing very interesting is that, see, when a client comes to you worried that, that how much amount of tax he will need to pay, or he comes to you with some notices which have come from the government and they feel very worried about it, at the end of the day, if you can make that person feel that, you know what, it's okay, it's not a big deal, we will manage it, don't worry, go home, just relax, I got you. If you can just do this much for your client, then probably you are doing justice to your profession, and you are giving you're doing justice to the kind of services you are giving. So he says that, you should have this thought in mind. Now, this same thought has been resonated in Vedanta also in a very big way, where, in Vedanta they always tell us that you should have higher ideals in life, always have ideals, and it should be higher, it should be serving people at large. So, in my mind, I said, okay, why not? I should also have this ideal in my life that whichever client comes to me, I ensure that when he goes home, he's going home in a very peaceful way, that he trusts me with whatever information he shares. And at the end of the day, I can give him this feeling that everything is fine. You don't need to worry. We've got you as far as all these tax aspects are concerned. So this is how I make my profession very interesting. I try to, when a client comes to me, I try to see that how I can serve him, how I can use the income tax laws to ensure that whatever he's doing is really not that bad, and we can really help you out in this aspect.
So Kunal, you were talking about channelizing the monies of your potential clients or your existing clients. So do you ever feel a sense of fear that you're managing so much of money for other people and you're giving them the tools where they can sort of save on tax and the audits that you do?
So see, there's no fear regarding this, because ultimately, to be very honest to you, as a chartered accountant, what I am suggesting to my client is finding out ways. See, there are certain loopholes in the act and in a lot of ways. So where you can use that loophole to your advantage, right? That is what I try to do. So there is no sense of fear, because I know I'm going by the book, I'm going by the act, and I'm suggesting my client those things. In terms of audits, yes, there is a risk factor, because sometimes what happens, see, when we are doing an audit, when we are auditing a transaction, there are time, and when we are doing an audit, it is not possible for us to go in depth into it. We do it on sample basis, certain amount of transactions. So yes, there is a risk element where we might miss out on certain transactions which we should have audited and we have not. So we can be pulled up for that and be questioned. So there is an element of risk there also, but we have our own ways and measures to cover it. The government or our institute has found out ways to balance that. But yes, that fear is more in audit rather than in tax, because in audit we are statutorily obligated to conduct this audit, and if we are not doing it in an ethical manner, if we are not doing it using our skill set, and if there are compliances which we are not following, there are rules in various acts where we can be pulled up and questioned. It can go to the fact that we might lose our certificate of practice as well. So the risk aspect is more in audit than taxation.
Right. I was very intrigued with one word that you brought up in this previous discussion that we just had, called as transaction. So
Yeah.
to aid your transactions in your profession, how do you sort of channelize the transactions that are happening in your life that you feel motivated to do these transactions?
Very interesting. Um, so see, I'll tell you what are transactions in life is about, all about give and take, right? Ultimately, in our audits also, we are verifying those transactions where some money has been given and some services have been taken. In our life also, we have these transactions where we give and take. One thing which Vedanta teaches me, and one thing even as a matter of fact, cricket teaches me, is that you have to be selfless when you are giving, and when you give selflessly, you get more than what you want in life. So in terms of my life, this is what I firmly believe in, that if you're selfless in giving, it can be anything. It can be helping a friend, or it can be even giving my services to a client. If a client comes to me for one particular aspect, right, and if I can help him out in another aspect as well, then that is the time I get that sense of work satisfaction. It's like, when you go to a bhel puri wala, okay, and he gives you a bhel. Bhel khane mein maza aata hai. You enjoy it, but then he gives a little bit of sukha in the end. So that kind of makes you go to that person again and again. So this is the kind of thing I'm trying to do in
Your
my
Bhelpuri
profession as
example
well.
has just reminded me of someone, but let's not go there. I'm sure you get the person I'm talking about. But having said that, you've just spoken like a true philanthropist, if you've realized that, because giving
No,
is, it's all about giving in the end, and that is what philanthropy is. I mean,
yes.
you've achieved so much in life that now you feel that it's your duty to give it back to people, the world, and stuff. And that is exactly what you've just spoken about. So it just took me to that tangent, and that's a compliment that I've just paid to you. So
Thank you,
tell
sir.
me
Thank you
about
so much.
cricket. I mean, so in a typical week, how do you balance your life between your work and cricket? And why do you
Yes.
give so much importance to cricket? I mean, what is that enabling you to do to become a more well-rounded Kunal Todarwal?
Okay, very interesting question. Like, first of all, let's talk about how I balance it out. Um, Luckily, because I am into a profession where I have my own practice, so typically I'm the boss of my office, of my organization. I get a lot of
We'll call it the
flexibility in
leader.
terms of
Let's not call it the boss.
the leader, the leader. So I get a lot of flexibility in terms of the timings. I can have my own schedule for, I can have my own work schedule. So I manage it out in a way where, my work does not get affected, and also I get to play enough cricket. On an average, I play at least 1 or 2 matches a week, and it gives me a lot of happiness. So why cricket? Cricket is just come out of passion. Since a child, I have always been very passionate about playing the game, rather than watching it. Even if there would have been a World Cup match, I would rather go down, play, and then probably watch the match. So I've been just passionate about this game. And see, the thing about cricket is, there are two very important two aspects about cricket which I really like the most. Is that, you have to, again, when I was talking about giving selflessly, it's a team sport at the end of the day, and you have to be selfless when you are playing in a team sport. Okay, there are certain situations in the game which arises where, for example, if I'm batting with a player and he's scoring really well, and for any reason, running between the wicket gets disrupted, I might have to sacrifice my wicket because I know that that guy is set in. So there is a
Hmm.
sense of selflessness also in the match. And this is something which I have seen. I have not only me, I've seen my other players doing also, selflessly giving in the game itself. So again, that is something very good. And second is, it's a sport at the end of the day. It's a life lesson. You can give your best on that particular day, but still you can lose. So these are life lessons. Probably these are lessons which have come to me even from my studying days, because the number of attempts I took to
Yeah.
clear my CA exams, and it's not like I had not given my best. I have every time given my best. For some reason I was not up to the mark and I could not clear it. So those failures have taught me how to be more stronger emotionally and mentally. Once I had surpassed that challenge of exams, I took up the challenge of playing the game now, because there are times when when you're doing the best and you don't get your results. There are days when you're just not there, you're just not performing, and how you pick yourself up for the next game and you again give your best. So this is how my life has been, and I like to take up these challenges. I like to face failures. So cricket is allowing me or helping me to face failures and to rise again. So that's what it is.
So, Kunal, you spoke about challenges and conquering challenges. What is the mind state or what is the emotion that you feel every time you conquer a challenge?
Oh, I feel elated. I feel a sense of satisfaction that I have. See, we as humans, it's very important for us to become better tomorrow than what we were today, right? I think this is an aspiration I have, that how I can be a better person tomorrow than what I have been today. So cricket kind of helps me to achieve that. So when I live up to my expectations of my performance, I feel that something in me has become better than what I was yesterday.
Hmm.
Maybe I had certain fears in my mind, which I have conquered, and that's why I have performed better. uh, so it gives me that belief, that what, if you keep working on yourself as an individual, you will always get better and better. Be it cricket, be it, I don't know, be it my profession, and maybe be it my family life, or be it as a friend. If I can keep challenging myself and becoming better and better, it really makes you feel elated. So that
And
is what
viewers, this
cricket
is the
helps
reason
me.
we have Kunal on a podcast because we stand by the mantra of if you have the will to succeed, failing is never an option. And this
Yes,
guy
failing
is
is
a
never an option.
he truly
Correct.
epitomizes that because I haven't seen him fail at anything. I mean, he has failed at things, but then the way he's overcome that and been a better individual is something that I really respect. So, Kunal, on
So
a
the respect
lighter,
is, yeah.
yeah, continue,
No,
continue.
I want to say is that the respect is mutual, Pranay, because a lot of challenges you have faced in your life, and I think I should bring this up because I know it's not that topic, but I should bring this up. The way you have overcome your situation, or the way you fought cancer, I think that is an inspiration for one and all, and it's been an inspiration for me also, that if you can overcome such a thing, you can overcome anything in life, man. So yeah, so you've been an inspiration for me as well.
Yeah, man, that's why Adidas says that impossible is nothing.
Absolutely. Even impossible says I am possible.
Yeah, well said, well said. So, Kunal, on a lighter note, so when you play cricket, what is the motivation you have? I mean, like, what gets you excited every time you take the field?
I think the most, so this is I would say it's an expectation and an excitement, both. I expect myself that whatever I do, I bat, bowl, or field, there has to be a contribution. It has to be a contribution to the team. At the end of the day, I get very excited and I get very happy where if I have performed well and if the team has won because of my contribution, you know, then I feel very happy and elated and excited. So, and of course, I think the whole element of uncertainty, Pranay, it kind of excites me because, again, a sport resonates how the life is. It's uncertain. What will happen
Hmm.
tomorrow, we don't know. We can plan as much as you want, but if it's not your day, it's not your day, you know. And if it's your day, it's your day. That is how life is, and that is what excites me about cricket also, because I want to give my 100%. It might not be my day. It's fine, fair enough. But that is the exciting aspect about it.
Hmm. So each day is a challenge, but when that day resonates in a win, then that day is very successful.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It
Hmm.
it makes you feel elated. So that's the whole excitement of uncertainty. So that really, it's both ways. There are times when we are going on a cricket field and we are facing the most easiest opposition you can think of, and we feel that we will run through them, but you might just lose, and that has happened with us. And then other way around also, there might be a strongest team and you're coming up against. So I can give you an example. I played a Rotary match a
Hmm.
couple of months ago. We were all out for 87. Okay. And the opposite team thought we will run through you. And I was captaining the team at that time. And I told my team that, this is not no more a 20-over match. This is a 10-over match. Okay. We need to get them out in 10 overs. So let's go and give our best. Believe you me, all the guys channelized their energy, and we got them all out for 70.
Wow.
You know, yeah. So and that was a very strong team. we were expected to be run over, and that kind of make me feel so elated, and as a matter of fact, it made me realize that I have pretty decent leadership skills as well,
That was
because
my
I
next question I was coming to.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
So,
I manage
yeah.
the resources. Yeah, tell me.
So, speaking about leadership, now let me draw a parallel. I believe you're a captain of your Rotary team or the other tournaments that you play for your respective clubs. And plus, you're a leader in office. So, what are the learnings from on the field and off the field, and where do you marry both?
Oh, now this is very interesting. This is very interesting question.
Hmm.
Um, See, I think the biggest aspect of being a leader is obviously is understanding your team. You know, see, as a even as a player, or even as my employee, or my staff, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. You know, again, I'm coming back to that whole point of how do I like to lead is having an ideal. Again, I'm getting Vedanta also into this picture. uh, where what is the ideal to win a game? Okay, what is the ideal to play a match? Is to win a game at the end of the day, right? So once you have that ideal in life, or ideal in the game rather, not in the life, ideal in the game, that you want to win the match, automatically, you start working towards it. Yes, the result might not happen the way you want, but if you have that ideal, so this is what I try to do, even on the game. I just tell my players, focus on the basics. Just do what you're meant to do, and the results will happen. But of course, play to win. So have that ideal of winning and focus on the game. Play, do your basics, and it will happen. All right. Same thing I try to inculcate in my profession also, where if my team is dealing with the client, the ideal should be that whenever the client comes to you, he should feel satisfied with the kind of service you are giving. So have that ideal. Again, focus on your basics. What ultimately, uh, my profession is knowledge based, so knowledge is power out there. But having the knowledge is not enough. You need to impart that knowledge in a way that it benefits my client. So you need, if you stick to the basics, how you can benefit the client, and inculcate, if I inculcate that into my team, and I get my results at the end of the day. So a win is equivalent to a satisfied client for me. And when these two things happen, I feel that I'm doing a good job as a leader.
Right. And when your team performs, be it professionally or be it on the field, what is that? I mean, how do you describe that emotion for you being a leader?
Oh, it makes me feel very happy. Uh, See, the thing is that I don't want to, I don't want to be this thing about it, but there are times when being a leader, you are obviously looked upon as a source of inspiration, you know. Um, so one thing what I do is that I lead by example. That is the most important thing to be a leader. And I've noticed that when you are leading by example, uh, be it your players or be it your colleagues, they follow you, you know.
Mm.
So this is one thing I truly believe in, and this is what helps me out, and this is how my team, when they are taking a leaf out of my book and doing what is expected from them, it makes me feel elated, it makes me feel as if I have been the one who has performed. So for example, in a match, if I have not able to perform, but somebody has put his hand up and has performed very well, it makes me feel like I have only performed. So that
Right.
is the kind of feeling I get
Mm.
on the field also, and in my profession also. So if a colleague of mine, when a client comes and tells me, this colleague of yours is very talented, and he's given me exactly the kind of advice what I was expecting, it feels like, as if I was there present and giving that advice. So that makes me feel very elated.
So a battle won is a battle not only won by the leader but his army. That's a true battle
Absolutely,
won.
man.
Mm.
Absolutely. It's like a game of chess. If you see a king cannot move much, okay, he will just go one step here and there, but he's got his queens, he's got his pawns, and how at the end of the day, they are the one who are winning the battle. So that's what it is.
Right. So Kunal, now let's discuss a bit about Vedanta. What made you get into Vedanta, and what's your journey been?
Very interesting. You know how profession, cricket, and Vedanta we are connecting. Vedanta happened to me um, because of cricket, as a matter of fact. Uh, because what happened, I was one of my Rotary friends. He was connected to Vedanta on in a commercial way, not in a spiritual way. And he had organized a match in the Vedanta Academy at Lonavala, which you've also been there,
Yeah,
you know, and you've seen the ground.
yeah.
So we were just randomly playing a game out there, and that is where I met Gaurav, and you know him
Hmm.
also pretty well. I've made you meet him, and
You want to just tell the viewers who Gaurav is?
yeah. So apparently, Gaurav is my guru and a friend at Vedanta Academy, and it is through him that I am getting this knowledge of Vedanta, which is helping me a lot in my life. And he's been a very big guide to me in my spiritual journey. So that is where I met Gaurav. Gaurav, again, an enthusiastic cricketer, just like me, and we met there, and that is where we clicked, you know. And that is how Vedanta has happened to me. Again, through my passion for cricket.
But what has Vedanta taught you, Kunal, that you're applying in your everyday life, be it your work life or your married life
Yes.
or your life with friends? I mean, in
Yeah.
every
So
aspect that Kunal Todarwal lives his life, what has Vedanta taught you?
see, Vedanta has seen a Vedanta is a teaching. It's a spiritual journey, yes, but the beauty about Vedanta is that it starts with you at a very basic level. Okay,
Hmm.
two things that resonates with me as far as Vedanta is concerned is that uh, it wants to take you through a journey of how you have to deal with your day-to-day life
Hmm.
uh, to the ultimate aspect of achieving salvation. Okay, now salvation is a big word. Let's not get there because it's something which is a long journey. Um, but in day-to-day life, so Vedanta basically starts with a very basic aspect is how you have to use your intellect to make decisions in life. You know, that is where my training or that is where my studies have started, and how you use your intellect to guide your mind and your body to work towards certain ideals in life. Again, I'm coming back to that whole thought of ideals. So once what Vedanta has taught me is you should have ideals and goals in life, so that you are channelizing yourself to achieve that goal. And how you can achieve that is by using your intellect to overlook your emotions, to take right decisions in life. So I think the biggest contribution Vedanta has been in my life is to take right decisions, be it a cricket field, be it my personal life, or be it even my professional life. It has
Hmm.
it has taught me how to keep my emotions at check when the tough situation arises, and how you can practically find solutions to problems. Once you start doing that, you become more at peace with yourself. You become more closer to yourself. It's something I'm trying to explain, but it's something which has to be felt. You know,
Yeah,
in turn, what it is helping me is again to achieve my other goal in life is to make me a better person tomorrow than what I am today.
yeah.
You know, so I'm just trying to connect all the dots out here. How Vedanta is helping me.
Kunal, what I've gathered of what you just said is that Vedanta talks about two eyes, but tells you not to be I. So I'll tell you how.
Yes,
Vedanta tells
yes,
you
that's
it's
very
an
true.
enabler to develop your intellect to achieve your ideals, but it should never
That's
be
true.
through I. That's me, myself. It should be through
Absolutely
giving,
not.
which is we.
Yes, yes, that is so true. That is so true. And this is a very important aspect of Vedanta where it says, the more you give selflessly, the more
Hmm.
you will be at peace with yourself, the more you will be happy with your life. Your desires reduce. So automatically, when your desires and your expectations reduces, your agitation in life reduces. And so whatever you do, be it cricket, be it my family life, friends, or be it my work, I will start enjoying it more. And the more you enjoy, the more you are connecting, the more you are going towards that whole process of nirvana.
Right.
So yes, that's what it is.
So, Kunal, speaking about peace, what do you describe in your own understanding? What do you describe being in a peaceful state as?
uh Peaceful state. Okay, you know, when you are in the present,
Hmm.
and where you're not having anxieties of the past or anxieties of the future. So basically what is peacefulness? It's again very difficult to describe, but I'll just probably put a benchmark out here,
Yeah.
that how you can judge yourself when you are at peace. There are two benchmarks to it. One is when you are presently focusing on what you are doing, like how you and me, we are doing this right now, so we are focusing right here. We are not talking, we are not worried about the past or the future. And so that is one aspect. And the second is that when we are in the present and not agitated. Okay, if these two aspects you achieve, so it's a benchmark of that you're peaceful in your day-to-day life.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm talking at a micro level, because again, peacefulness is something we require at a very micro level. I'm not talking about macro level. So this is how I feel that I'm at peace when I'm in present, number one. And then number two, I have no agitations. Again, cricket helps me to do that, because when I'm playing the game, it keeps me in the present, it keeps me in the game. This particular practice helps me in the profession. See, my struggle for peace is there in my profession, because there are times when that concentration is not there, that focus is not there. But cricket and Vedanta is really helping me in my profession to ensure that I'm in the present, I'm getting my job done, and being more peaceful in my profession as well.
So, you're talking about your peaceful state as being in the present and not bothering about the past or the future. And you mentioned this very interesting word called as agitation. Now, my understanding of this is that if you're in your present and you're not bothered about your past or your future, agitation will never set in.
Yes, yes, that is true. Actually, that is true. It is one and the same thing. You know,
Hmm.
you are right. Because if you're not bothered about, see, it's like, in Vedanta they tell us ke how young kids, my 7-year-old boy also,
Hmm.
uh, they have a lot of energy in them. Even the full day they'll be running around doing whatever they want, but they have a lot of energy in them, is because they don't have the intellect at this age, to think about the past or think about the future. They're just there in the present. And a kid is a fantastic example of how you can stay in the present and have so much of energy and so much of happiness in life.
Hmm.
So I think this is something we have to learn from our kids. And you're right, they don't get agitated. They are not worried about tomorrow whether I'll have to, what is to be done in the school, whether I've done the homework or not. They don't at that age.
Right.
So not I'm not saying that they should not be doing their homework, but it is just that that worry is not there. So
Homework
yeah,
doesn't
that's
work
what it
them
is.
up.
Yes, that's right.
So,
That's right.
Kunal, I think we've spoken for a good half an hour, 35 minutes. There are a couple of questions that I have for you before we wind up. One is, what is satisfaction for you, and how do you connect that to peace? Because I know that both mean a lot to you. So I want the viewers
Aha.
to understand your philosophy on how is peace related to satisfaction. Because I know for a fact that it's
Uh,
money is not
yeah.
satisfaction for you. So we are
No,
killing
no,
that discussion there.
no, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Uh, See, I'll tell you what. I feel both these aspects are interrelated, in the sense that uh, when you are peaceful, you will have the sense of satisfaction, and when you're satisfied, you are peaceful in a way. So, see, in order to achieve both the things in life, I feel that satisfaction and peacefulness are not different. They are one and the same. Uh, and if you want to achieve this, I think two three aspects of things you have to follow in life. And that's what I learned. Is first is follow your passion, because it will, sorry.
Can you repeat that?
So what I was saying was, peaceful and satisfaction is one and the same for me. To achieve this, I will just quickly summarize it. One is that you have to follow your passion, because that gives you a lot of satisfaction in life. Second is have an ideal in life, have a goal in life. What do you want to do? Once you have that goal, you get a sense of again satisfaction and peacefulness when you're achieving those goals in life. It can be anything. It can be your family, it can be your profession, even it can be your sport, what you are following. And yeah, probably these are the two aspects I feel if I achieve these two things in my life, I'll be peaceful and satisfied.
So, guys, words of wisdom from Kunal Todarwal. And Kunal, any parting message for all our viewers, considering you are a chartered accountant who's satisfied with cricket through Vedanta? So, a parting message where you can just sort of tell our viewers what have you learned in life and what are your lessons that can help someone who is aspiring to walk the path of peace, if I may.
Um, See, parting messages, I would say that two, three things. First of all, first is
And do promote
never
us
be,
also in your parting message.
of course. The commercial aspect has to come in somewhere, doesn't it?
Commercial
Anyways, jokes
aspect, man.
apart.
I need
No,
organic
I know,
growth, man.
I know, man, I know.
Hmm.
So that's why I said I'm honored to be here. So parting messages would be first is never be afraid of failures in life. It's part and parcel. You will learn a lot of things from your failures, and that is where you will turn out to be a better person. So that is first thing. Never be afraid of failures, be it anything. Uh, Second would be is that be selfless in life, because that will give you ultimate peacefulness and happiness. Try to be selfless, try to help people around you, try to help the community around you. See, whenever you come across a person, the only thought in your mind should be what best I can give to this person. Okay, that the idea should be that I have to give my best to this person. It can be anyone. And the third and the most important aspect is, I think I mention, yes, you should have an ideal in life. That
Hmm.
is very important, because ultimately that will help you to grow as a person, to become a better person, and it will give you a sense of achievement. So these are the three things I would want to tell our
Right.
viewers. If we keep following this, I think life world is a beautiful place to live.
So, guys, those were the three important messages by Kunal Todarwal, my ideal friend who spoke about ideals. And it's been an honor chatting with him. And till we come up with another episode soon on the Rangman Show, this is Pranay Rangra and Kunal Todarwal signing off. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Signing off. Thank you, guys.